Hi, and welcome to this morning coffee. Normally, I can't stand rain. I bought this rain jacket because there is nothing worse in life than having cold rain drop down the back of my neck. I mean, sure, there's a lot of things worse in life, but on the daily annoying aspects of life, that's just at the top of the heap for me. Except in spring. I must admit that even I, diehard disliker of rain, appreciates a good spring rain. And do you know why that is? It's because you can't see it now, but if you were to walk out to those cars earlier today when it first started raining, you know what you would have seen? Of course you do. You would have seen big pools of yellow pollen gathering on the hoods and the roofs. That pine pollen that saturates everything and everyone when you're outside these days. Oh, burns my eyes. Although I learned not too long ago, the yellow pollen that we see, that's not the problem. It's so big, relatively speaking, that's not what causes those of us with allergies to struggle. It's the tiny, teeny, tiny microscopic pollen that we can't even see that is such a pain and such a burden for so many. And it hit me today when I walked out and it was raining and the pollen is pulling on my car, that there's something to be learned in that. That sometimes I might want to yell at that yellow pollen. In fact, I do. But that's the big stuff, and it's not as big a problem as the small stuff. During this season, it's the beauty of spring, but it's also a season where we just moved from Lent to Easter. And we contemplated our sin during Lent, and we celebrated our forgiveness and resurrection of Christ at Easter. But that's an important lesson to remember too. Sometimes the sin that captures our attention most clearly, most obviously, are the big sins. We think about murder and rape and stealing and adultery and all those great big ones. But for the most part, it's the smaller ones, the ones that are easier to overlook, like pride, right? Or anger, or, I don't know, greed. It's all the things that are underlying the surface of our lives that really are what we need to focus on. Yes, I have managed to avoid murdering anyone this whole week. Yay! That's radically different from I have to deal with my greed and my lust and my pride. So, on a rainy day, which of course in the Bible it talks about the comparison of the rain coming down, reminds us of baptism, washing us clean, God washing away our sin. On this rainy spring day, let me remind you to focus just a little bit of attention in this resurrection season, not just on the big sins in your life, but on those hidden underlying sins that really are the cause of so many of our problems. I hope you have a great day.